Hey guys, what's up? This is Gallman, and welcome to another update video. Today is January 11th, at least in terms of me recording this, and we have a good bit to talk about today since my last update video was from 2 years ago. The last update video I posted was like April 2022, so yeah. I apologize about that, but I also apologize for the lack of videos recently, but we're going to try and get back into things, and that's what this video is be mostly focused on. What I'm going to be trying to doing over the next few weeks, few months, and then maybe also just kind of like in general. But before that, I do want to wish you all a happy New Year's. I know I'm a little bit late, but it's January still, so it counts. We've made it a whole nother year, so congratulations everybody. I know for me, 2023 wasn't particularly a great year. Like, it was a 4 out of 10 year. Didn't really like it all that much, but we've made it to another year, so there's always a chance that it'll be a lot better. We will see. Either way, I hope it's good for all of y'all. Now we're ready to continue. I've been trying to do this update video. I've got like 3.5 hours of like audio recorded of me just trying to do this update video. So like my head's a little bit mixed up on some of it. But I'm going to try and keep it in a certain order and, you know, just kind of give you guys like straight details, and then like later on I will go on to probably ramble a whole lot. So bear with me here, or don't, that's okay too. But yeah, all right, so let's get into this. In terms of things that are going on, obviously, you know, I'm going to get back into posting the stuff that I was already posting recently, stuff like Cyberpunk, Starfield, Rogue Trader, Blood West. I want to try and finish at least all of those over the course of January. We're almost halfway through the month before we get to like February, so I might be able to finish some of those. But apparently there was just so many games that came out last year that I started that were like 100+ hours, so it just kind of like fell apart. As really like I fell into a bit of a rut over the last few months. I'm kind of getting onto the other side of that. I'm feeling a little bit better on things, and that's why we're going to try to get back into stuff. But yeah, those games, going to try and finish a lot of those. At the very least, I do expect to finish like Blood West. That's not a super long game, so that one will for sure get finished. Rogue Trader and Cyberpunk, I think, are going to be like my big focus, because I haven't played Starfield since like September. I played like 100+ hours of it. I just have so much footage that I need to get around to like editing. Yeah, those we'll try and get those. And I do still intend to try and finish like Tears of the Kingdom or Everspace 2. They're just, been notched down a little bit because a lot of my hype for games ends up being when they come out, and so when I've like kind of started something and then like the time has passed, then they just kind of like fall down the list. But I still want to finish them. Yeah, so we're gonna try and get a whole bunch done before like the big game season starts in February, because there's a lot of stuff coming out in February. A few things coming out in March, and we'll see what happens beyond that. In terms of some of the stuff that I missed from like last year, sort of kind of, like Baldur's Gate 3, I'm going to be redoing that Let's Play. I'm going to do a solo Let's Play on that at some point, but that's like 100+ hour game, so I can't make any like promises on how that's going to work. I need to at the very least finish like Rogue Trader first before I do that, because that's too many turn-based games going on at one time that are super long, but at least far less reading in Baldur's Gate 3. That was kind of nice. Spiderman 2 I want to get to at some point. I also still need to I really want to finish Spider-Man 1 in terms of like the DLCs, because I know those DLCs tie into Spider-Man 2 as well as Miles Morales, but that also comes down to like a money issue, so we'll see what happens on that. And there's some other smaller stuff like Turbo Overkill, or Final Fantasy 16. That's not really a small game, but it's just another game that I missed. I'm just looking at my list of stuff. Alan Wake 2 New Game Plus I want to get around to at some point, whenever. I think I'll wait until like around when they start releasing new story content In terms of like the DLCs they have planned, the Lake House DLC I think is the first one. So whenever that's about to come out, I'll probably go do a New Game Plus on that. Dead Space New Game Plus I still want to do, although we'll see on that one. That might have to wait for like a Dead Space 2 remake announcement or something. But yeah, okay, so that's kind of like the stuff that I might be like, that's kind of like immediately on my mind for the next few weeks. Now we can kind of talk about like the games that are coming out. First one is actually January 19th. That's The Last of Us 2 Remastered. I'm not going to be doing a Let's Play of the campaign of The Last of Us 2 Remastered, because it's been a very short amount of time. I know I've done like 3 Let's Plays of The Last of Us 1. Actually, 2 Let's Plays of The Last of Us 1. But yeah, but I do want to play the roguelike mode of The Last of Us 2 Remastered. So you can expect to see some videos on that. We'll see how fun that is. If it's really fun, you might see a lot of videos on it, because I really like good zombie games, and we don't get those really in terms of like the AAA space. So yeah, I'm looking forward to trying that out. And then February has just so much stuff. I doubt I'll be able to like do most of it, but we'll see. We have Persona 3 Reload on February 2nd. Persona 3 is the biggest reason I haven't done any like the Persona games so far. The second reason is that all the games are like 80 plus hours or something. But yeah, I've always been like, oh, if I'm gonna go play the Persona series, I'm gonna start from like an earlier game and then move on to like a later game, because those games look good. Like Persona 3 looks good, Persona 4 looks good, but I didn't want to like play Persona 5 and then go backwards, because I have a mental thing with that. Like if I play like the latest game in a series, like, oh, I'm gonna play number 5 in the series and it's awesome, and then I go play number 2 and it's awful. Yeah, I'd rather just do it in reverse. Then I don't know what I'm missing if I go play 2 first and then make my way forward, and I can get a little appreciation of things. Even though Persona 3 Reload is going to be a remake, so it'll probably be a little bit different. Still, I'm looking forward to trying that out. We have Helldivers 2 on February 8th. I don't really have too many people to do like co-op stuff with nowadays, which is why you haven't really seen anything like that. But who knows, maybe I can do some like solo runs on it. Maybe you can play with like bots. It looks really fun. And it takes Helldivers away from like the area. I don't really like top-down games all too much, but if you throw me in like third person and some crazy action, it definitely ranks up a little bit in my interest. And then first person, even more on that. We have Tomb Raider 1 through 3 Remastered on February 14th. That's kind of a big maybe. I've never played the original Tomb Raider games. At the very least, not all the way through. I played the demo of Tomb Raider 1, the one where you're like in the mansion, you've got like a butler talking to you. That's all I've really played of the original Tomb Raider games. So I'm interested. So we'll see about that. One game I am like, I think funnily enough, the game I'm most excited for, in February, it comes out February 22nd, Pacific Drive, and it's an indie game where you have to maintain like a car in this like supernatural apocalypse, and it just has my interest. It just has a really cool aesthetic. I love the idea of it, so I'm really hyped up for it. And then we'll see how that goes. I hope it doesn't get like delayed, and I hope it comes out working really, really well. Speaking of indie games that I hope work well, Sons of the Forest will be getting out of early access on February 22nd. At least that's what they say. So I might do a solo Let's Play on that. We shall see. Because I enjoyed The Forest a good bit. Sons of the Forest looks like it could be fun. I was gonna play it last year, but then I realized it was doing the whole like early access thing, and I try to avoid most games that go into early access. So I can play them in their best version. I'm hoping that's what's going to happen with Sons of the Forest. Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons is getting a full remake on February 28th, And you know what? I never played the original one, and that was always on like my list. It's also, I think the original was like only like 3 to 5 hours long. I don't think it's a super long game. So yeah, I'm probably gonna play that. So I'm looking forward to that. Speaking of remasters and remakes, we also have Star Wars Dark Forces remaster on February 28th. I've never played Star Wars Dark Forces, but a lot of like the old school like 90s to 2000s Star Wars games were really good. And then we need to start getting more of those. So yeah, I'm probably gonna check that out. I mean, I'm pretty sure Star Wars Dark Forces was just like a general shooter thing, and I like my shooters. So yeah, that'll be fun. And that kind of covers all of like the stuff that's coming out in February that I'm aware of from Wikipedia that I'm interested in. There's still, there's lots of other stuff that's listed there, but there's a lot of times I find that I look at Wikipedia and there will be games that come out that don't get listed at all. So we'll see what other surprises kind of await there. I'm thinking that's what's going to happen with March, because March looked kind of sparse in comparison. I've only got like 4 games listed there. Homeworld 3 comes out March 3rd, and I'm really looking forward to that because it's just like a cool looking space RTS. I do want to play Homeworld 1 and 2 since that did get a recent remaster, and I have those because Epic was giving them away for free, so I was like, yeah, I can do that. So yeah, I'll probably try and do Homeworld 1 and 2 over the course of February. We shall see. Again, I'm probably going to try and finish at least like Rogue Trader first before I go into any other like strategy game. And then there's a big gap between Homeworld 3 and the next game, because the next one's on March 20th, Alone in the Dark. That is getting like a big reboot. Looks kind of like a third-person shooter horror game. And I'm interested, even if the only Alone in the Dark game that I played was that other reboot from all these years ago. I think I beat that game. I just don't remember it. I streamed it. But yeah. Dragon's Dogma 2 comes out March 22nd. I'm really interested in that. I might do Dragon's Dogma 1. It's just kind of a weird game because I've started a Let's Play on Dragon's Dogma 1 like 3 different times over the last 12 years or so. All of them on like the Xbox 360, and I just never really got back into it because the beginning of the game is very slow. It's very slow, but it's such a like cult classic, kind of like beloved game. Obviously it got a sequel, so like I'd like to like fully experience it, and I do have the PC version of the game, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. At worst, I'll just, if I haven't played Dragon's Dogma 1 by the time March 22nd comes around, oh well, I'll just go straight into Dragon's Dogma 2. But we'll see. Rise of the Ronin also comes out March 22nd. That one looks like just like a third-person sword slashy, dramatic kind of cinematic game. So we'll probably check that out. I don't expect that to be like super long, like say Ghost of Tsushima, but who knows? We shall see. And that kind of covers everything between like the next couple of months that we have like at the very least listed on Wikipedia. We'll see what kind of surprises await. I know that Stalker 2 has a Q1 2024 kind of release date, or not really release date, but just like release area. So that could be February, that could be March, it could even be January, although we'll see. I'm expecting March because again, March looks a little bit more sparse in game releases versus everything else. Or maybe it'll just get delayed again, which would be fine because I really like Stalker. And if it can become like the best game it can be on release, that would be awesome. And it also might give me like, I would like to check out Stalker Gamma, which is just like a mod that slaps all the Stalker games together in one big super changed up machine of a game, and I'd like to check that out at some point, even if I don't really know too much about it. But every glimpse I see of the Gamma mod or anything else on the Stalker mods just looks really good. So we'll see. But yeah, that's kind of everything that I'm generally aware of. There's other stuff that I have like recorded that I might be posting as well, like Arizona Sunshine 2. I've got that like half edited, so I need to post that. We've got Ghostrunner 2. I need to post that, and I also have the final video for the finale for Ghostrunner 1 has been just sitting private on my channel, so I can make that go public as well before I start posting Ghostrunner 2. What else? The Invincible, that was a fun little story game. So we'll post that. Pokemon Scarlet, I've had I did the whole base game basically back in 2022. So that's something I need to get around to posting. There were some other Let's Plays that I had recorded that unfortunately I've lost, which is a bit sad. Stuff like Tunic, Sifu, I lost those. I think I also lost Hardship Breakers, which was like a fun little indie game where you had to disassemble ships in like a scrapyard, space scrapyard. And so my hard drive died last year that had all that footage. So some of those I might go back and redo and then, try and post way faster than the original time I posted that. And then that leads me into kind of the next point. I'm probably going to be, there's a lot of things I'm going to be trying to do in regards to just kind of general channel things. The last couple of years I've been, or not even for the last couple of years, the last few years I've been wanting to make a new channel, or maybe make multiple new YouTube channels where I can say post either just whole different content kind of in general, edited down stuff, highlights and stuff, stuff that I wouldn't really, maybe I'd play a game for a few hours and just get the best stuff that I enjoyed rather than doing a whole Let's Play, or even just VOD channels, because there are times where I stream a game and then I don't end up posting it for months and months and months, or maybe never end up posting it, and that's what a VOD channel would be good for. So there's things that are on my mind, and in regard, I think what I'm going to do to kind of start approaching that is I'm going to be making a new Twitch channel where I will, at first, I'll be using it for those things that I don't like streaming too much on the main channel. Speaking, which is just editing. I'm going to do some editing on that channel. So if you're interested on that, you can subscribe to that, and then eventually it might turn into doing a lot more than that. It might become my main Twitch channel, depending on how things go, because I do intend to also kind of, and a lot of it's kind of happening, but I do intend to start moving away from using GOM as my online brand name, for a lot of reasons. There's the obvious stuff, and that is just that there's a lot of baggage tied to using the name GOM for me at this point. After everything that's kind of happened, it's rough on the day-to-day basis. It's so easy to run into one thing that just completely just destroys my mental space. It just ruins my mood. And I think if I were to try and just start a little bit more new, start fresh, that would be nice. Especially because for the second reason, which I'm always we're worried to talk about, but I am trans, and I am intending to, while I am currently free a lot of things just because of money issues. If it was up to me, I would have started years ago for a lot of that. But I do intend to get on HRT, and I've been on and off doing voice fem training, and I do want to in the future just go all in on trying to talk in a feminine voice. And I don't want to do that here on this channel, because I know that'll just be an uncomfortable mess. I know there's plenty of people who are supportive and won't mind, but there's also plenty of people who aren't supportive, and those are just annoying to deal with. And obviously that I will run into that no matter where I go, probably even more so on a new channel where I have no, no kind of pre-up base knowledge built up, any clout there. But I don't know. To me, mentally, it feels like it'll be better for me to just go say, fuck it, I can go all in on doing like embracing like new stuff if I'm not just tied to like a channel that I've been doing stuff for the last like 15 plus years, and people kind of have like an expectation of me sounding certain ways, you know. But we'll see. It's up in the air. That in terms of like me going all in, that part is gonna wait until I move, because I've been kind of like in a waiting situation for that for the last few years. The last few years, it's always been like, oh yeah, the house is going to be sold. It has to be sold within the next couple of months. It has to be sold, by February. And this was said in like 2022. The house has to be sold by July. And just so many different things. The last time, I had the conversation with my mother about the house being sold. It was like, oh, the house needs to be sold in like January. And now it's January. House is being sold. When before that, it was like November. Still here. So we'll see. For all I know, we will finally actually be moving out of here within the next couple of months. For all I know, I'll be here for the next few years. I don't know, but yeah, I'm kind of like waiting to move in that regard, because I don't know what I'm gonna have when I finally like settle in terms of like equipment. I could have everything. I could have my 2 desktop computers and my my good mic that you're hearing right now, or I could be on like the Blue Yeti mic and on my laptop, and like that's it. In which case, that kind of changes what I can do, right? Like with the current stuff, I can kind of go all in on certain things and like posting content. I can have my computer rendering all day as long as I've had stuff like edited and ready to render. I can just post a lot. But on the laptop, it would take like 4 or 5 hours to render one video. So it changes what I can actually like do and what I should be expecting to do. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, if you're interested, we're gonna do like kind of like a soft start for the newer stuff by making kind of like an in progress Twitch channel. So you can check that out down in the description below. And again, there I will be doing like editing streams, or if I'm ever like playing, like for example, there are plenty of times where I will be slacking off and I'll be playing just like a random multiplayer game or something. And I don't really like streaming that so much on like my main channel anymore. I used to like just not really care and be like, yeah, I'll do this. But nowadays it's one of those things where it's like, if you stream just whatever, it can affect your channel overall. And that is always weird, and I won't have to worry about that as much on like a brand new Twitch channel that barely anybody is following, right? So yeah, well, there'll be a mix of things, and there'll also be like I can also practice like voice feminization stuff there a little bit more, and hopefully people will be nice. That's all I ask, is that people are nice. But yeah, that kind of like covers the general gist of my tension. I know a lot of people are kind of like on the way out entirely on YouTube, retiring outright or quitting outright. And it's been on my mind for the last few years of like what I want to do, because I'd like to like do more than just what I'm currently doing, which is again just been like, it's kind of being like a zombie and just living day to day, surviving without really any like big future plans. And I'm over that. I'm getting over that. I'm desperate. I would like at this point, if I could, I'd be working just like any kind of job. I've even been looking at like say janitor jobs, or like just like general retail stuff, because I want to be doing something else as well. But I don't know, for a lot of reasons, I just continue having to wait. One of those other reasons is like say my car's been broken down for the last few months. So I haven't even been able to like drive, and obviously money's been down, so I haven't even had car insurance. So it just, I've just been stuck in the house for all these months, and it like I said earlier, it got to me. My mental health went down really hardcore, and I've just been meh. It's been really, really meh for the last few months, but we're gonna try and get back into things. At the very least, I'm excited for the stuff that's coming out, even if it's just like The Last of Us 2's remastered roguelike mode. That looks fun. or continuing Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty, slash like, you know, the whole like rest of the game in Rogue Trader, Starfield, Blood West. All those are fun, and we'll see what ends up happening with everything else in February, as well as how things go in the future for like new channel stuff. For who, maybe for all I know, I'll try and like do the new channel things far sooner. And otherwise, I'll probably still be on this channel for a long time, for at least like, you know, the course of the next year or two, or maybe I'll do like kind of a mix of things and still be doing stuff for this channel where I talk like this, and then I'm still doing stuff on like a different channel, and it can kind of be like a fun little double, you know, Hannah Montana kind of thing. Who knows? I definitely would like to do some games before I half retire on this channel, stuff like Red Dead Redemption 2, or like the Assassin's Creed series, or like the Batman Arkham series. Oh, you know what? Isn't Suicide Squad also coming out in February? Holy shit, I didn't have that listed here. Or maybe it got delayed. Hold on, Suicide Squad release date game. Oh, that's January 30th. Oh my god, that wasn't, I didn't see that on the list. Holy hell. So yeah, that's another game I might play, even if it's getting like panned really hard in the industry. So all right, that'll be interesting. Yeah, that's either January. This thing is saying February 2nd. What? The game industry is so weird sometimes. But okay, I'm gonna wrap up here because we've already been going for like 26, 27 minutes. Thank you all for listening to me ramble. And apologies for the lack of update videos for the last couple of years. I'll try and be a little bit more proactive in that regard. Again, I've been in the waiting game. I've been sitting here waiting to see if I'm gonna move, and I didn't want to like I even recorded an update video yesterday, and I had to redo it today because the information slightly changed. That drives me nuts. It drives me bonkers when I like record an update video and then like I have to change my mind the next day or something. But all right, I'm wrapping up here. Thank you all for sticking with me through this update video and throughout all these years. I'm still gonna keep doing content. You know, I'm not even if the temptation's there, I'm still gonna keep trying to do stuff, and hopefully having like a decent time as we adventure through all these game worlds, or sometimes save the world a whole bunch. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. I will see you all in the next one.